It's Upset City in the latest presidential polling. I'm John Phillips, and this is Poll Position. In a new poll from Monmouth University, the top choice of Republican voters was nobody. That's right. Undecided was far and away the number one pick with 20%. Coming in a distant second, but first among all candidates was Dr. Ben Carson with 11%. Scott Walker is next with 10%. Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio get 9%. Mike Huckabee gets 8%. Rand Paul has 6%. Ted Cruz 5%. Chris Christie and Rick Perry get 4%, Rick Santorum 3%, Carly Fiorina, Lindsey Graham, Donald Trump each come in with 2%, Bobby Jindal and John Kasich get 1%, and George Pataki, God bless him, gets 0%. A goose egg for the New York governor. Former New York governor. Dr. Carson's strong showing isn't the only upset in the works. In another new poll from crucial early voting state New Hampshire, Bernie Sanders is closing in on Hillary Clinton. She gets 44%, Bernie Sanders gets 32%, and Joe Biden gets 8%. Let me say this about the underdogs in both the Republican and the Democratic primary. There is an institutional bias from those of us in the news media to back the underdog. Nobody wants to see a crushing defeat that's all sealed up in January or February. That's what happened in 2000 with Al Gore and Bill Bradley. That's what happens whenever you have an incumbent running for re-election if there's a challenger in that particular primary. But the more of a horse race that you have, the longer it draws out, the more interest there is. So if you're Hillary Clinton, you can't treat Bernie Sanders like he has no chance. For that matter, you can't look at Martin O'Malley or any of the other Democrats that are thinking about getting in the race. On the Republican side, it's a little bit different. These numbers show it's a completely wide open field. If you're Jeb Bush, they have to really disturb you, these early numbers, because with the fundraising lead that he has over everyone else, if that doesn't translate into good poll numbers, if that doesn't translate specifically into a lead in the early voting state of New Hampshire and Florida, that's going to be a big problem for him in the long term. That's the position of the polls as they stand right now, but it's your turn to make your opinion known. Is 2016 going to be the year of the presidential upset? Tell us your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm John Phillips for Poll Position. Thanks so much for watching.